देवं सुरासुरैर्वन्दितपादपद्मं लोके जरारुग्भयमृत्युनाशं धातारमीशं विविधौषधीनां धन्वन्तरिं रमानाथं सर्वरोगनिवारकम् आयुर्वेद प्रवक्तारं वन्दे पीयूषदायकम् सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम शांति। थैंक यू वैद्य बाटकी सर। रोग निदान एकेडमी के फॉर्मेशन के बाद आदरणीय पवन कुमार सर जी और आदरणीय अतुल सर जी एवं देश के सारे रोग निदान के जो पैटर्न्स है, जो विद्यमान माननीय है, उनके समस्त उनके मार्गदर्शन के साथ हमें बहुत सारे एक्टिविटीज और बहुत सारे हेलो हमें बहुत सारे एक्टिविटीज और बहुत सारे अनेक कार्यक्रम हम लोग ने आयोजित किए हैं। उनमें से पहला कार्यक्रम था जो नेशनल एसे कंपटीशन। नेशनल एसे कंपटीशन में कॉलेज के सभी यानी कि रोग निदान के फैकल्टी के उत्तर से लेकर दक्षिण तक सभी कॉलेज ने बहुत अच्छा प्रतिसाद दिया। पवन कुमार सर और अतुल सर, उपाध्याय सर, इनके मार्गदर्शन और इनके सहयोग से बहुत सारे जजेस ने बहुत अच्छा कोऑपरेट करके, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने पार्टिसिपेट करके बहुत अच्छी तरह से सक्सेसफुली वो जो इवेंट है वो रन हुआ। लास्ट वीक में ही उसका प्राइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अपने एक लेक्चर सीरीज में कंप्लीट हुआ। उसके बाद जब रोग निदान एकेडमी तरफे सेकेंड लेक्चर सीरीज स्टार्ट की गई, तभी 2 वेबिनार अच्छी तरह से सक्सेसफुल हुए और उसके बाद ये लेक्चर सीरीज की डिमांड उठी है। तो आज से 4 जुलाई से इस साल में हर एक शनिवार में ये लेक्चर्स होंगे और अलग अलग वक्ता, देश के जाने माने वक्ता प्रैक्टिकली इस लेक्चर सीरीज में हमें मार्गदर्शन करेंगे। तो आज के वक्ता है डॉक्टर परमेश्वरप्पा प्यादकी सर, PhD and HOD of BHU, Rog Nidan Vikruti Vignan. He is the in charge of clinical laboratory of BHU, Ayurved faculty. He has written more than 11 books, many national and international publication he is having with. He has been awarded excellence in Ayurveda at AAPNA 10th International Conference. He has achieved Yoga Gaurav Award in the Conference of Yoga Science and Education in 2016, Charaka Award, Rog Nidan Visharad Award, Mahatma Young Scientist Award. He has achieved and many more. The most important thing is very grounded human being and very excellent teacher. I would like to invite Dr. Parmeshwar Badgi sir to start with his lecture. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kini madam, for your nice introduction. Today I am going to discuss about the Agni Pariksha. I am going to touch upon only the clinical aspects of it. There are many aspects of the physiological aspects. I'm not going to cover it out, but I am going to discuss only about the what exactly Agni to be understood when you go to the clinical ward, bedside setting. So how to understand the Agni, it can be understood, and what are the ways, what are the parameters should be taken care. So I will directly move with the, I will start my slide presentation. Host disabled attendees screen scaling. This I am getting message. Pawan sir.
I'm giving you the.
Okay sir. Okay.
So that he can share the screen.
Yes, given.
Yeah.
You can share now, sir.
Now I can share your screen. Okay. Now screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Today I'm going to discuss about the importance of the Agni Pariksha. I'm going to talk about the Agni Pariksha only. So, what are the methodologies to be conducted and how it should be? I think which language is better? Shall I go with English or Hindi mix?
English Hindi mix, sir.
No problem. So, uh, you know that the in the system of Ayurvedic system of medicine, Agni has got its important place in terms of the understanding, in terms of the diagnosis, as well as there are two important words which have been used by the Ayurvedic acharyas. Sarve api rogaha mandagno kayas antaragnes chikitsa kaya chikitsa. It means that so for chikitsa purpose as well as for the for the development of the diseases also, there has been lot of emphasis has been given to the understanding of the Agnis. So to be healthy, one samadosha samagni se samadhatu malakriyaha prasanna atma indriya manaha swastha ityabhidiyate. So here also it has been given introduction that so this importance of Agni is very very important. So one should maintain the sama status of the Agni. Another important quotation in context to the Gulma Roga Chikitsa, it has been mentioned that Sama Prakopo Doshanam Sarveshanam Agni Samsita. So there is a Sama Prakopa of the doshas is all dependent on the Agni, and that's why it should be protected. Tasmad Agnim Sada Rakse Nidananchi Varde. So it should be always protected by proper food and the proper liquids. That's why one should avoid the etological factor which will bring the abnormality in the Agni. So then comes about the another important quotation where I got it from the Ashtanga Sangraha, Sharirasthana 6th chapter. So where in which it has been mentioned that how the things are going on inside the body. So that is there is a flow of the dhatus will takes place inside the srotas, and these srotas are again made up by the dhatus, and then they will intermingly moving each other. Accordingly, there will be rasavaha and raktavaha and srotas. And tesam and everything is all depend. Tesam sarveshama dushayataru dushta dosha. For all these things happening, dushta dosha is important. Again, next last line, techa prayasho dushan agni dosha. For all these things happening inside the body, it is all because of the agni dosha. There's the word which has been used here as agni dosha. There is an deformity. There is an abnormality in the agni that is responsible for the all these kinds of events. So if Agni is normal, everything, the flow of the nutrients from one place to the other place, or the mala, mutra, purisha, all those things will be moving freely inside the body. If there isn't any problem with the Agni, there will be a defect in all these things. Another shloka which has been given in the Susruta Samhita, where it has been most of the people we are always talking about the when it comes to Agni. I request the other attendees, please mute yourself because there is a disturbance. So there are in the Agni concept where everybody is talking about that when it comes to the functions of the Agni, everybody will discuss only about the Samanavata. But it's not true actually when it comes to the understanding of the functions of the Agni is all dependent on the Pachika Pitta. But along with that, there would be one more word which has been used in the Susruta Samhita. Prana apana samanastu sarvatah pavanaistribihi mayate palyate chap swam swam gatim avastitaihi. So prana, apana, samana, all these three matas are very very important for the normal functioning of the Agni. So it's earlier the first line is Jataro Bhagwan Agni Ishwaro Annasya Pachakaha. It's going to digest the food. Saukshma Rasadanada no vivektam naiva sakyate. It is so minute, it is invisible, it is very very difficult to define in terms of its structure. So it is very very minute in nature, and it performs the functions by the prana, apana, samana. All the three vatas are working in a coordinated manner in a circadian rhythm. So then only this Agni will perform its functions normally. So along with that, then again one more reference what I got from the Kashyapa Samhita, Praswas, Uchwas, Nishwas, in that particular context. Again, he says that Dhammyamana Udanena Samyak Patati Pachakaha. Dhammyamana Udanena. So accordingly, so he says that means prana, apana, samana, and udana. All the four are very, very important for the normal functioning of the Agni. So not only except the Vanavata, so remaining Vata, all the four kinds of Vatas are very, very important. So their normalcy is very, very important. Then only the Agni will perform its normal functions. But next question comes, this is the close sloka given in the Susruta Samhita. Again, he says that Pitta and Agni are one and the same. So there are many questions which are arising out of this. Again, he says that Jataro Bhagwan Agni Ishwara, he says. But again, he says that Agni and Pitta are one and the same. The Jigyasa Pitta Vetireko Anno Agni. So there is there any Agni other than Pitta, Pitta? Then again he says that there is ahos bin Pitta meva Agni riti. So Pitta itself is an Agni. He says that. So he says that there will be the treatment modalities which we are going to give it for the management of the Agni Vikaras is the Pitta remedy. So Pitta Shamaka remedy. So that's why this kind of the statement which has been given in that. But there are certain areas, there are certain examples where we can see that. For example, if we give the Gruta, so Gruta is Agni Vardaka, but Pitta Shamaka. The other example, we can take the Ajapaya, Aja milk and the Matcha, it's a Pitta Vardaka, but it's not going to enhance the Agni at all. In another way, take for example Divasapna, it's a Pitta Vardaka, but it reduces the Agni. So the Vata Pradhanata is there, it brings the Vishamagni status, Pitta Pradhanata Tikshnagni, and the Kapha Pradhanata Mandagni status. So the considering these things, so we cannot say Agni and Pitta are one and the same. Take for example of the Samprapti of the Palita Roga, where in which it has been mentioned like anger, sorrow, and fatigue. All those nidanas will enhances the ushma, shariragata ushma, and these ushma enters the siras, and then they bring the paka of the pitta and kesha and manifest the falita. So it means the ushma is different than that of the pitta. So here there are two word terminologies which have been used. So it indicates that pitta and agni are not one and the same. So another way we can say differentiate is, say pitta is drava, snigdha, and adogami. There have been adogami. There is a downward movement. But on the contrary, pitta is an urdhvagami. So this also there is no similarities in between the pitta and the agni. So considering all those things, we can say that so pitta and agni are not the one and the same. These are the two different entities which should be managed with the appropriate medications and appropriate therapeutic procedures. So there are another examples which will also say that rasa, virya, and guna, which are used for pitta management, so leads to the management of agni also. So that is why some people says that so the agni, because agni does not have the rasa and other attributes. So that cannot be directly we can prescribe the medicines. So it should be mediated through the pitta dosha. So hence some people will argue that the pitta and agni are one and the same. So the overall we can call it as, but when it comes to the why the pitta and agni are one and the same, mentioned in Susruta Samhita, what it seems to be appears to me, because when it comes to the classification of the agni, Charaka has mentioned Jataragni, Datvagni, and Bhutagni. There are 13 types. But in case of Susruta Samhita, only Panchapitta Agnis are mentioned. So these are the Panchapitta Agnis. So Pachaka Pitta, then this Ranjika Pitta. So I will not go into details of it. But here it has been mentioned that the Pachaka Pitta, which is responsible for the Chaturvida Annapana, Pachati and Vivechayati. So it is responsible for the Pachana Karma and for Vivechana of the Dosha, Rasa, Mutra and Purushani. So these are the functions which have been told. Again, he said, it's very, very difficult to perceive its functions. It's very minute in nature. So that's why it has been told. Then again, he told, Tasmin Pitte Pachako Agniriti Savjnaha. Agni Karmanaha Anugraham Karoti. Sarirasya Agni Karmana Anugraham Karoti. So that's why he told that this Agni, Pachaka Pitta, Pachak Agni, and the Jatra Agni appears to be one in the same in terms of the functions attributed to both. So I will not go into the other varieties of the Agni, the Ranjaka Agni as well as Sadhaka Agni, that I will not, Alochaka Agni, and then the Prajaka. So next comes about the they start with the Agni Pariksha. So when it comes to the Agni Pariksha, so even in Susruta Saraka Samhita, Punar Agni Balapekshini, Punar Agni Balapekshini, Ahara Matra Punar Agni Balapekshini, Ahar ka Matra Agni ke bal ke aadhar par nirdharan karna chahiye. You have to decide the Agni Bal. Based on the Agni Bala, one should decide the how much amount of food one should take it out. So that's the one quotation, Agni Ahara Matra Punar Agni Balapekshini. For that sloka, so Gangadhara has commented upon, he mentioned that there will be Pravara Bala Jatragni, Madhyama Bala Jatragni, and the Avara Bala Jatragni. And he made the, again in the Jatragni itself, there are three subdivisions he made it out. Pravara Bala Jatragni, that's called as Uttama Bala Jatragni, and Madhyama Bala Jatragni, and Avara Bala Jatragni. To whom you can call it as an Uttama Bala Jatragni is, so there will be the digestion and the metabolic activities are excellent. So the performance of the Agni is normal, and the person is the Agni is performing its normal functions, and there will be an excellent power of the ingestion will be there, and excellent power of the digestion is also there in the patient. And these kinds of patients are endowed with the excellent strength, longevity, joy, good physique, superior mental faculties, and the full of dhatus, and the power of resisting any sort of the difficulties, and the digestion of the food when taken in the large quantities also get it digested without any much difficulty. So the Uttama Bala Jatragni, these are all the some of the other it out in the Hemanta and the Yavana, Hemanta Rutu, and in the Yavana, in the middle age, the Agni strength is very, very excellent, and the Uttama Bala Agni is responsible for the strength, health, longevity, and the vital breath. So this Agni is also responsible for the normal complexion, enthusiasm, and well-built luster, Ojas, Tejas, and the other Agnis also, the Bhutagni and the Tattvagnis are also dependent on these Tetragnis. So that's why one should be protect the Agni by the intake of the proper diet and the liquids. So if you are not able to maintain the normal functions of the Agni, that's going to cause the deflation in the dhatus, and it also brings the dhatuksha, and then resulting into the development of the so many disorders. So the dhatus are also will be in the normalcy, normal stage in the Uttama Bala Jatragni. So in the Madhyama Bala Jatragni conditions, where the individuals having the moderate strength of the digestion and the ingestion, and these people are having a moderately appears moderately healthy, and these people are unable to digest properly when a person consumes a large amount of food. So this moderate medicament should be prescribed for the effective management if these persons are suffering from any kinds of disorders. So these persons are also possesses a moderate strength and the longevity and the immunity. Avara Bala Jatragni, again, the person is unable to digest even the small quantities of the food. These persons are suffer from the diseases very oftenly, endowed with the loss of strength. There is a longevity is compromised. Immunity is also, these people are more susceptible to develop the opportunistic infections and unable to sustain the stronger medicaments. for these patients, milder medicament should be prescribed for the effective management, and this will take the longer duration to recover from the diseases. So Agni is very powerful in the young age group in the winter, and then the Agni is mild during the rainy season and the old age. So the topic of my discussion today is concentrating on the Agni Pariksha. So these are all some of the references which I discussed based on the references available in the Chakrapani Gangadhar Tika. So that is Pravarabala Jatragni, Madhyama Bala Jatragni, Davarabala Jatragni. This we generally we are not discussing it in a routine discussions.
ऋत्वा माझे हेडफोन्स कुठे आहेत काय यार किती शोधायचं
another references which I got it from the
मला काय आता मला काय माहिती मी तिथे जाते ठेवलेले
the Agni classification of the Agnis is done by Susruta is more appropriate and more scientific and more clinical oriented. Pragabhito Agni annasya pachakaha sa chaturvido bhavati. So that Agni, which is performing the panchaka functions, there are 4 varieties. Doshan abhipanna ekaha. So the normalcy of the doshas is 1. Vikriyamapannos trivida. There is a deformed condition of the Agni is of 3 types. That is Vishamagni due to Vata, Tikshnagni due to Pitta, Mandagni due to Sleshma. So Samagni is because of the Sarva Samyaditi. So there are 4 kinds of the Agnis. One Agni is a Samagni, another one is the pathological, that's a physiological one, and the remaining 3 are the pathological. That is the Agni, Tikshnagni, and the Mandagni. So how to assess these? So it's very important. It should be. I will go into that aspect of it. But another reference where we get in the Madhava Nidana also, like Vishamo Vatajan Rogan, Vishamagni Kajas Vataja Roga, Tikshnagni Pittaja Roga, and Mandagni Kapha Roga will be going to manifest it. So again he says that there will be in the Samagnir Matra Samyak Vipachate. There will be descriptions available in the Madhava Nidana. This is the Madhava Nidana reference which I am telling now. Samagni Matra Samyak Vipachate. There will be normal proper digestion of the food will be there. In case of Manda Swalpa api naiva, Mandagnair Visamagnais to Tegina. Even in take of the little quantity of the food, the person is not able to get it digested. That's Mandagni. Kadachit Pachate, in case of the Visamagni, sometimes he digests properly. Samyak Kadachin Vipachate, sometimes it is not going to digest it properly. Matra Atimatra Apesita Sukha Messe Vipachate. Matravat Bhojan, Atimatra Bhojan, or excessive quantity of the food is get it digested very quickly. It indicates the Tikshnagni condition as mentioned in the Madhava Nidana. Among all 4 varieties of the Samagni, among the all 4 varieties of the Agni, so Samagni is considered to be one of the best Agni. So to sum up all the functions of the Agnis, so we can say that Agni is very important component, which is responsible for Bala, which is responsible for the Arogya, which is responsible for the Prana, which is responsible for the Ayu, which is responsible for the Teja, that is the temperature, which is responsible for the Varna, which is responsible for the Sukha, which is responsible for the Swastha, it is responsible for the Utsaha, it is responsible for the Upachaya, it is responsible for the Prabha, it is also responsible for the Oja, it performs the Dhatu Pushaka functions, Pachati and Vivechiti. These are all the functions which are attributed to the Agni, and if these are there in a normal condition, then we can call it as the person's Agni is in the state of Samagni condition. I don't think so. The Bala means strength, Arogya means health. I don't think it's necessary to translate it out. I hope you people will understand these terminologies. Next comes about that what are the ways by which we can understand the Samagni status of the Agni. So the difference between the Charaka and Susruta is, so Charaka is used only 2 words. Under the heading of the Ahara Shakti. He told that Abharana Shakti and Jarana Shakti is good, then the person digestion is proper. Plus Agni is normal one. So Abharana Shakti and the Jarana Shakti. But in Susruta Samhita is very beautiful description is atakal mapipekannam samyak pachati sa samaihi sa samaha samairdoshaihi. So it is a balanced state of Agni where in which there is the timely consumed food will be getting digested timely is known as the Samagni status. So in Madhav Nidana, there are other references which have been given, other classical clinical features which have been given in the Madhav Nidana, which says that Udghara Shuddhi, if they performs the Udghara, which is very free from the small smell, free from the this thing. So Udghara Shuddhi, that's the one feature. Erectations are very pure, so free from any kinds of the foul smelling and all. Utsaha, Udghara Shuddhi, Utsaha, full of enthusiasm to perform any kinds of the physical or mental activities or emotional, any kinds of activities. Udghara Shuddhi, Utsaha. Utsaha is strength to perform the activities. Vegotsargu yatochitaha. So there is an elimination of the proper Mutra Pravritti, proper Purusha Pravritti. All these Vegas will be properly eliminated out timely. Laguta, the feeling of lightness, the patient will feel that once the person will feel, not the patient, this is a normal Samagni condition, patient feels always Laguta. And the Kshut Pipasa Jirnahara Selekshanam, timely, the patient feels thirst and timely feels the appetite timely. So the feeling of appetite timely and the patient will get an hunger and the thirst timely. So these are all the some of the classical features which indicate. So some of the Samagni, so one is Abhavarana Shakti and Jarana Shakti is good, excellent. So he is capable of consuming the food. Abhavarana Shakti and Jarana Shakti is excellent. That's the one, number one. Number two, Yatakalam Epithanam Samepachiti. Number two is if the person takes the ahara and then that will be getting digested properly in a stipulated period of time. Number two. Number three, Udghara Shuddhi. Number four, Utsaha. Number five, Vegotsarga. There has been proper elimination of the Mutra and the Purusha and other excretas from the body. Number like sweating and all. Next one is the Laguta. The patient feels that there will be an Laguta, feeling of lightness all over the body. There is a timely patient will get an appetite and the hunger. These are all the some of the normal indicates towards the normal state of the Agni. So these are the Samagni Lakshanas. So one to whom you can call it as an Vishamagni. So Vishamagni is very fun classical presentation which we get in the ward, wherever in the OPD or in the old in the IPD and OPD section. The classical presentation what the patient says that kabhi kabar pach jata hai, kabhi kabar nahi pachta. This is a clear classification. Sometimes I will get it digested properly, and sometimes some days it will be a problem with the digestion. So what are those clinical presentations? The first classification, the first criteria to say it as a Vishamagni is Kadachit Samyak Pachiti. Sometimes the patient will have a proper digestion. So there won't be any difficulties. Sometimes Kadachit, there will be distension of the abdomen, there will be pain in the abdomen, there will be misperistalsis, there will be diarrhea, there will be heaviness in the abdomen, there will be intestinal gurgling, and there will be pravana, there will be straining during defecation. These are all some of the classical clinical presentations what the patient is going to present before the clinician. So based on this, we can diagnose it as an Vishamagni condition. So Vishamagni condition is very common in the old age people. And another one is if the person who is having a habit of eating the vata provocative ahara and viharas. So that is resulting into the development of the Vishamagni condition. So to sum up the Vishamagni diagnosis is, the first one is the patient, the present the clinical feature is kabhi kabar mere ko pach jata hai, kabhi kabar pet gadbad ho jata hai. This is the first presentation. Number two, there will be a distension of the abdomen. Patient bolta hai patient mere पेट फूल रहा है, पेट में दर्द हो रही है, पेट में तो लगता है कि कुट्टी डकार टाइप का ऊपर की ओर आ रहा है, खाना खाया तो ऊपर की ओर आ रहा है. Then there will be diarrhea, there will be heaviness in the abdomen, there will be intestinal gurgling, गुड़गुड़ाहट आवाज जो पेट से निकल के आ जाती है, and straining during defecation. So these are all some of the presentations what we get in the patients. Then we can diagnose it as a state of the Vishamagni. Next about the this is very difficult to assess in terms of the presentations based on these Tixnagni conditions. Only one criteria which has been given for Tixnagni is Prabhuta Mapipekta Annam Asupachati Satix. Only this much has been. What is given? An excess intake of the food, excessively consumed food is getting digested very quickly, is known as the Tixnagni. That what is Tixnagni? Tixnagni means there is an excessively consumed food will be getting digested very quickly, known as the Tixnagni. So this is only this much description given in the text. So there won't be any other descriptions available to say it as a Tixnagni. That is what is that? Prabhuta Mapipekta Annam Asu Pachati. Excessively consumed food is getting digested very quickly. Number one. If the again very next line is very important. Sa evabi vardhamano. If the same Tixnagni is getting aggravated, then Attegniritya bhashate. That is known as the Attegni. So there is a difference between Tixnagni and Attegni. Tixnagni condition, if the person consumes the excess quantity of the good, it will be getting digested. And if Tixnagni enhances, that is leading into the development of the Attegniritya bhashate. What are the clinical features which you will get? Muhur prabhutam annam ashu taram pachati. See, in Tixnagni word has been used asu pachati. Here ashu taram pachati. So there is a difference between the Tixnagni and the Attegni. So in case of Tixnagni, what they are telling is asu pachati means, for example, the time duration for the normal digestion of the food is 3 and 3.5 hours to 4. But in case of Tixnagni, it will be getting digested within 2 hours. That's called as asupachati. Asutaram means if it will be getting digested within an hour. That's called as taman taram means it's more powerful. Agni is more powerful. So that's why he told that the classical presentation is ज्यादा मात्रा में खाया हुआ भोजन जल्दी पच जाता है, तीक्ष्णग्नि में वही बढ़ जाता है तो उसको अत्यग्नि कहते हैं. Muhur prabhutam effect. To call it as an Attegni, if a person consumes the excess quantity of the food again and again, that will be getting asutaram, that will be getting digested very quickly, is known as the Attegni. So that is also known as the Bhasmakati. So what are the clinical presentation? We will get Pakante at the end of the digestion. Gala, Talu, Worcester, Gala, तालु वोस्ट प्रदेश में शोष दाह संतापन जनयन्ति. गल शोष गल दाह गल संताप, तालु शोष तालु दाह तालु संताप, वोस्ट शोष वोस्ट दाह वोस्ट संताप. So these are all the clinical presentations manifest after the end of the digestion. So these are the presentation given in the Sushruta Samhita. For this, again, there will be a very beautiful description given in the in this Saraka Samhita, in the 15th Agrani chapter. It is very clearly mentioned about the Attegni condition. It has been clearly mentioned in case of the Attegni condition. In case of the Attegni condition, Kapha is in the Kshinavastha, Pitta and Kupita are in the aggravated condition. See, Attegni, what is the difference between Bhasmakagni, Attegni and the Tixnagni is, in case of Tixnagni, Pitta is aggravated. In case of Attegni, Kapha is in the Kshinavastha, Pitta and Maruta, Vata are in the aggravated stage, number one. So then Tixnagni is because of the Pitta Pradhanata. After finishing this, I will make the differential diagnosis of those two. And then Savushmanu Pavakastane. Then they because of the both Vata and Pitta become more powerful. Because of that, Agni will become more and more powerful. And after getting bala from these Vata and as well as from Pitta, and it start making the emaciation of the body. It start emaciating the body. It start eating up the dhatus. Then it start digesting the food very quickly. If the patient does not get the food timely, then it start digesting the body issues. That is resulting into the development of the Daurbalya, Atanka, Mrityu, Sopayan Naraha. So that's to manifest the Daurbalya, Atanka, and the various kinds of the diseases, and lastly the person may die because of this. Bhukte annam labate shantim. The patient will get relief after the intake of the food. Jirna matre pratamite. Again, once the digestion is over, then again it will be get provoked. Trut swasa daha murchadayaha vadayo atagni sambhavaha. What are the vadis which are manifest because of the atagni is trutna, swasa, murcha. These are all the some of the diseases mentioned. So to differentiate the atagni with that of the Tikshna is pitta pradhana, atagni is pitta and kupita, pitta and vata pradhana, and kapha is in the state of kshinavastha. Number one. Number two, Atagni is an advanced state of the Tikshna. Atagni is the advanced state of the Tikshna. And in case of Tikshna, excess intake of the food will be getting digested quickly. But in case of the repeated excess intake of food will be getting digested very, very quickly. So in case of Tikshna, it will be digested with 2 hours means. In case of Atagni and in Basmakagni, it will be getting digested within an hour. Number two. Number three, the classical presentations of the in case of the is Akante, Gala, Tal, Post, Soha, Santapan, Jayanti. Those are the clinical presentation given in case of Atagni, but those clinical presentations are not given in context of the Tikshna condition. If the person did not get the food, it will start digesting the dhatus or the Sornitadi dhatus, but that's not given in case of the Tikshna. Comparatively, in case of the Atagni and Basmakagni, Atagni and the Tikshna, Atagni is a more powerful. That's called as, that's why it is called as Basmakagni. So this is about the diagnosis of the Tikshna and the Atagni. Next comes about the how to diagnose the case of the Mandagni condition. So it is very, very classical, clear-cut presentation. And if a patient comes to you in the ward, he will say that Mahata Estva Malpa Apayuktamannam Thoda Matra me Khayeva. Even intake of the less amount of food will be getting digested very, very late. That is Mahata Kalena Pachati. Estva Malpa Apayuktamannam. Even the less intake of food will be getting digested with a longer, it will take longer duration of time to get it digested. Take for example, if a person takes a breakfast at 8 o'clock, he won't get an appetite until the 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. So that it will take a longer duration of time to get it digested. Number one. The first criteria for Mandagni is even the intake of the less amount of food will be getting digested very, very slowly. Number one. Number two, the presentation of the patient is Udara Gaurava and the Siro Gaurava. The patient will be having the heaviness in the abdomen, heaviness in the head. Presentations of like this kind of presentation, something is stuck in the throat, and there will be khasa, there will be cough, there will be difficulty in breathing, and there will be excessive salivations, and sometimes the patient will go to the vomiting, and the gatra sadhana, there will be a general body malaise, and these are all some of the classical presentations well developed in case of the Mandagni patients. So Mandagni patients indicates here in this particular condition, patient does not have any desire to take the food, even if we take the little quantity of the food, but it will take longer duration of time to get it digested. Number three, the patient will be having a heaviness in the abdomen, heaviness in the head, and there will be a kasa, a cough, there will be a dyspnea, there will be salivations, there will be vomiting, there will be a general body malaise. These are all some of the classical presentations what the patient is going to present in case of the Mandagni condition. So then the other functions which are mentioned in context to the Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana. See, it has been told that when it comes to the Agni is very, very important. Agni functions are very, very important for the growth of the body because it is responsible for the normal growth of the body, and the Ruddhi and Kshaya of the body's dhatus is dependent on the normal functions of the Agni. So that is why one should protect the Agni by all means. So to retain the Varna, to retain the Bala and the other functions which I discussed earlier. So that is why you should be very, very careful when you are eating the food. So considering these, I prepared a questionnaire for the understanding of the Samagni, Vishamagni, and the Mandagni, and the questionnaire has been prepared by one of our student, Dr. Neera Saini, for her PhD work, and it has been standardized. These questionnaires are standardized and validated. So I prepared in questions. I will just go through it out, and if you want, I will send the email copy of this this thing. So what are the questions of which we prepared is, do you eat food timely, whether it get digested within a stipulated time? Based on that, we are going to give the number yes, and one point to that. Whether the erectations are pure, free from bad odor. If it is yes, then it will be number one. Again, will be one point to go into that. Do you feel enthusiasm to perform daily activities? Yes, then there will be one. Do you pass urine and stool regularly without any difficulties? Then if it is yes, the 1 point given to that. Do you feel lightness in the body? If yes, there will be 1 point. Do you get hunger normally and timely? There will be 1 point. Then do you get thirst normally and timely? So based on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 criteria, so we were going to assess it out whether the person is having the Samagni condition or not. So this questionnaire has been validated and standardized by us. Vishamagni condition is assessed based on the questions which we made for this. Have we any complaints of the have we any complaints of the sometimes digestive power works properly? The patient will say that sometimes my digestion is working properly and sometimes may not. So that if the patient presentation is says that sometimes मेरा पेट सही रहता है, sometimes मेरा पेट सही नहीं रहता, there will be that's the 1 point to that. Do you have the flatulence, to feel flatulence and always passing the flatulence with the foul smelling? That's 1 point to that. And complaint of the pain in the abdomen, 1 point to that. And do you have any upward movement of the vata in the costa? There is erectations, sour erectations, or any kinds of such kinds of erectations, and there will be an upward movement that if the patient presents with that, there will be 1 point to that. So are you suffering from the repeated diarrheas? Are the diarrheas? There will be 1 point to that. Have you complaint of heaviness in the abdomen? For that, if there is a presentation, 1 point to that. Do you feel gargling noise in the abdomen? If the patient says yes, there will be 1 point to that. And do you feel like straining during defecation? So when you're passing the stool, do you strain it out to pass the stools? If it is yes, then we are going to give 1 point to that. So based on this, so the questionnaire, so we are going to assess whether the patient is belonging to the Vishamagni condition or not. So this is about the Vishamagni. So for the Mandagni, we prepared the questionnaires like, do you feel that comparatively you eat less amount of food? The first question is, are you eating less amount of it compared to earlier? And even if you eat less amount of food, but whether it is taking longer duration time to get it digested? If it is yes, then there's 1 point to that. Do you feel that your digestion is weak? If then patient says yes, then there will be 1 point to that. Do you feel that even the last small amount of food also digest after a long period of time? Even if it is in Lagu Ahara, it's not Guru Ahara, even if it is a Lagu Ahara, but it will take a longer duration of time to get it digested. If it is yes, then it will be 1 point to that. Do you have any complaint of heaviness in the abdomen? Then for this 1 point. Do you have any complaint of heaviness in the head? For that there will be 1 point. Do you feel excessive gurgling noise in the abdomen while passing the stools or normally or otherwise? Then there will be if the patient says yes, there will be 1 point to that. Have you complaints of flatulence? There will be always flatus is passing, but which is of foul smelling. That if it is there, then it indicates the 1 point to that. Are you suffering from the cough? Yes, then that will be 1 point. Are you suffering from breathlessness? If it is yes, then there will be 1 point to that. Have you complaints of excessive salivation? Then if the patient says yes, there will be 1 point to that. Are you suffering from vomiting or the nausea? If there is a history of the vomiting and nausea, then there will be 1 point to that. Do you feel dryness of the mouth? For that, there will be 1 point. Do you feel excessive weakness? That's an Gatra Sadhana. If the patient says yes, there will be 1 point to that. Or have we complaints of the constipation? So based on this, if the patient says yes or no, based on this, we are going to assess the whether the patient is belonging to the Mandagni or not. So these are all the some of the concepts which I standardize and they standardize the questionnaire. So for the Agni concept, the clinically to understand the Agni also, I think I finished my this Agni concept for today. And any questions are there, I will welcome the questions. Or because I will take the other portions of the remaining portions. I will take it in other modern interpretation of the Agnis and the importance of in the manifestation of the diseases. If the time permit, I will continue for another 15 minutes. Shall I go? Shall I continue my lecture?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, thank you. When it comes to the concept of in the modern concept also, it has been mentioned that the gastrointestinal tract, the mucosa is the part of a complex sensing system called the MALT, mucosa associated lymphatic tissue, because there are the immune sensors in the MALT trigger responses such as nausea, vomiting, pain, and swelling, and the vomiting and diarrhea are abrupt defensive responses by the mucosa associated lymphatic tissue when it senses the food with a strong allergic or the toxic component. So this kind of food intolerance is responsible for many digestive problems. The GIT is an hardwired to the brain via hormonal neurotransmitter mediated chemical communication. So that's why the gut-brain system, the gut-brain mechanism is taking very importance nowadays. So another important thing is in Ayurveda also, except that aging is one of the very, very important factor which is responsible for the problem with the digestion. Ayurveda also says that if the person of old age group will be having the less digestive power, and it is also estimated that after the age of the 40, there will be an approximate decrease in the body's ability to produce an enzymes by 20 to 30%. So that's the reason the person is not capable of digesting the food what he or she was earlier in the age of before the age of 30. From 14 to 39 years, the person's enzyme levels are very excellent and they are able to digest the food properly. So, but before the age of the 15 years or the after the age of the 40 years, before the 14 years, enzymes are not completely produced, but after the age of the 40, there will be decrease in the body's ability to produce the enzymes by 20 to 30%. So the use of these specific enzymes will also help to improve the efficiency of the digestion. So enzymes can be also used to enhance the proper breakdown of the food in order to more properly digest, absorb, and utilize the nutrients. Very, very important. These three terms I will take it out with the concept of Avastapaka mentioned in Ayurveda. Enzymes can be used to enhance the proper breakdown of the food in order to more properly digest, absorb, and utilize the nutrients. In case of there are Avastapaka, Prathama Avastapaka, Ditiya Avastapaka, and Tritiya Avastapaka. In the Prathama Avastapaka, there will be digestion. Second Avastapaka, if it goes there, it will finishing, and there will be at the end of the third Avastapaka, there will be an absorption and the utilization of the nutrients will be taking place. If there is any defective in the first in the Prathama Avastapaka, so then there will be development of the Ama Jirna. So the ama can be developed at the three levels. If there is a defect in the ama itself, in the first stage of kriya, in the first stage of the avastapaka, there will be a development of the ama. But if the first stage of avastapaka is good, but if there is a defect in the second stage of ama, the second stage of the avastapaka, then also there will be development of the ama. That's called as vidagdha jirna. So in the third stage is if the first stage of the avastapaka is good, Agni is performing functions, and the second stage of avastapaka is good, but the third stage of avastapaka is not good. That is also that is called as causing the disturbed. Or to sum up, we can call it as avastapaka is in condition where if there is a defective Prathama Avasthapaka can also produce ama. If the defective Avasthapaka in the second stage also can produce ama. If there's a defective in the third stage of Avasthapaka, can also produce the ama. So there is a development of the ama because of the defect in the Prathama Avasthapaka can also produce ama. Dvitiya Avasthapaka problem is there is a problem in that they can also produce the disease, and in the Tritiya Avasthapaka, then if there is that in that condition also there is a development of the ama. So accordingly, we should understand. Then you should plan the line of treatment. If the ama developed because of the defect in the Prathama Avasthapaka, that should be managed within appropriate treatment modalities. For the Dvitiya Avasthapaka abnormalities, the treatment should be different. And if there is a defect in the Tritiya Avasthapaka, the line of treatment is different. That's the reason everybody is not getting in success in the treatment because of these changes. So you should very minutely observe the classical clinical presentations at these three levels, and accordingly you should prescribe the medicine to correct the Avasthapaka. So then only the patient will get the proper response and the proper result. So what are the important another important aspects of it is causing the Agni Dusti, which has been clearly told in Ayurveda. There will be Mityahar Vihara is one of the things, and other dietary factors. The poor eating habits, including the inadequate chewing and eating on the run, may result in inadequate enzyme production and hence malabsorption of the food, which is exacerbated by aging, because this is a time of decreased hydrochloric acid production as well as a general decline in the digestive enzyme secretion. So that is why the your eating habit should be good, and you should not. Even Ayurveda also told that don't eat in a very hurry, and don't eat in a very long. Don't take longer duration of time to complete the food, but don't take the lesser time to digest the food. But eat in timely, eat with the proper chewing and with the in the calm and composed mind. Then only there will be proper secretions of the hydrochloric acid as well as the digestive enzymes. And youth is the age where when when our ability to produce enzyme is at the greatest. That's why there is a rapid growth and often time with no serious illnesses, because of the Agni. The condition of the Agni is very excellent. The people of age and their food enzymes become depleted, and they as the person is older, then they begin to suffer from a broad range of the health complaints. So even it has been accepted in modern medicine also, even in Ayurveda also it has been accepted that Agni is the condition Sante if there is a defect in that, they can also produce the diseases. So then, and there's some of the references which we got in the year 1986. Howell suggested a shortage of the enzyme is part of the mechanism that allows cholesterol deposits to accumulate in the inner part of the arterial wall. So this is shorter of the enzymes is responsible for the accumulation of the cholesterol deposits inside the arterial wall. In the year 1958, a researcher, Pilgeram, conducted a blood test at Stanford University. Is demonstrated that a progressive decline of lipase in the blood of atherosclerotic patients in the advancing mid and the old age patients. So what is the importance of Agni and the in the development of the diseases? So there is one reference which we get: Mande Agno Vardate, Gulme Deepte Chagno Prashamite. Agni is very important component for the development of the Gulma Roga. That's why it has been told Mande Agno Vardate. Agni become milder, the disease become aggravated, and if Agni become Deepta, then the disease will become normal. So that is why Nadi Savitam Kurnan Nathi. That's why one should protect the Agni by all means to get it relief from the Gulma. Arsha Atisara and Grahani Roga, these are all the Trayo Vikaraha Prayena E Paraspara Hetavaha Arsham Sichatisarasya Grahani Dosha Evacha Esham Agnibale Hine Ruddhi Parikshayaha Tasmad Agnibalam Raksemeshu Visheshataha. So Arsha, Atisara and Grahani develop because of the defective Agni. Agni is these three diseases are developing because of the Paraspara Hetus also, as well as because of the defect in the Agni. That is why one should preserve the functions of the Agni. Strength of the Agni should be retained. Hine Ruddhi Ruddhi. If there is a defective Agni, if there is Agni is Manda, then this is become Ruddhi. So that is why Agni should be protected by all means to get rid of these three conditions. Another reference which we get is Samay Dosa hi Samay Madhe Deha Sushma Agni Samstitaha Pachat Annam Tadarogya Pusti Ayur Bala Ruddhayaho Dosair Mando Atiruddho Va Visamair Janair Gadan Cham Mandasya Tatrokta Matiruddhasya Vakshate. So if the Samagni condition, if the Samagni which is situated in the middle part of the portion of the body in the Grani region, Samo Madhe Deha Susma Agni Samstitaha Pachatannam. If it is performs its normal functions, a result of that there will be Arogya, Pusti, Bala, Ayu will be there. But Manda or Atiruddha Tikshna or Vishama, it is going to cause the disorders in the human beings. So there are terminologies which have been used in context to the Agni is Dushyatagni, Agni Sadana, Mandagni, Durbalagni, Atyagni, Agninasha, Tikshnaagni, Vishamagni, Alpagni, Nastagni, Sitagni. These are all some of the terminologies. Sitagni means Mandagni. These are some of the terminologies which have been used in context to the Agni and its Agni Dusti in context to the various diseases. Or even for the treatment purposes also there have been Agni Kriturodaha, Agni Daha, Agni Deepana Aushadhi should be given, Agni Karma Vishay, Agni medicine should be mentioned, Agni Dosha, Agni Vikruti, Agni Dusti, and the Agni Bhala, Agni Jarana Shakti, Agni Ka Jarana Shakti and Bharana Shakti. And these are some of the words which have been used: Agni Vaishamya, Agni Rodha, Agni Saha, Agni Adhistan. These are all some of the words which have been used in context to the Agni from the various points of view. So it is very clear cut. That Vataja Vishama Agni is causing the Vataja Vikara, Tikshna Agni is causing Pittaja Vikara, and the Manda Agni is causing the Kapaja Vikara. Rogaha Sarvagno Mandagno. This is a very popular sloka of Bhagbata, Sutara Mudrani. Most of the diseases are arising out of the Mandagni, and out of it especially is the Udara Roga. For this also, even in the Charaka Samhita also same has been mentioned. Agni Dosha Manushanam Roga Sangaha Pratagvidaha. So Agni Dosha is defective Agni which is responsible for the development of the various kinds of the disorders inside the body. Mande Agno Visheshan Udarani. Here also Agni Mandata is very, very important factor which is responsible for the development of the Udara Roga. So some of the diseases which are developing because of the direct references which will get the importance of the Agni in context to it is Agni Manda, Ajirna, Atisara, Grahani, Udaroga, Amlapitta, Arsha, Anaha, Atopa, Vidagda Jirna, Ustabda Jirna, and the Amajirna, all Ajirna conditions are the Pravayika, Vilambika, Visuchika. These are all the diseases which are arising out of the Agni. So that is the reason when it comes to the management also, so Agni should be taken into consideration. So there are Navavida Pariksha which has been told in context to the before the administration of the Niruva Basti, Charaka Samhita Siddhisthana, he told that the one should assess this status of the dosha, Aushada, Desha, Kala, Satmya, Agni, and Sattva, Vaya. All these should be examined before the administration of the Niruva Basti. It means that Agni is very, very important. Based on the Agni level status, one should decide the dose of the Niruva Basti and decide which medicine should be given to the patients. And the Dashavida Pariksha also, the Charaka has been used the word Ahara Shakti, and in Susruta, Susruta Dashavida Pariksha, he has been used the word Agni used directly. He used the word Agni there. So the Dwadasavida Pariksha again mentioned in Susruta Charaka Samhita also in context to the treatment from the different perspectives. And the Trayodasha Pariksha also like Dosha, Besaja, Desha, Kala, Bala, Sarira, Sara, Ahara, Satme, Sattva, Prakriti, Agni and Vaya. So these are all the things should be examined. So Agni is one of the important component. So Agni is very, very important component. So before the prescription of the any medicines, so you should assess the status of the Agni, whether the Agni is in the state of Vishama, Tikshna or Mandagni. Accordingly, the medicine should be prescribed to the patient. So this is about the Agni and its discussion today. So I will close my lecture today. So any Pawan sir, Chaitra madam,
Yes, sir.
Chaitra madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will finish my lecture. So I
Okay.
will,
Okay.
okay, okay. So any questions or any discussions are there? So I'm
Yes.
happy to take questions.
Very excellent and outstanding lecture, sir, with outstanding style. And the very important thing, many of the references आपने जो बताए, those are very much practically important for all of us, not only students, for all of the practitioners as well as teachers and everyone. So here I would like to request everyone to unmute your mics, and those who want to ask the questions, they can ask.
कौन बच्ची बहुत ज्यादा तब से परेशान कर रही है? लॉकडाउन में तो यही होना था. क्या पवन सर सही कह रहे हैं ना? लॉकडाउन में तो यही मजा लेना है.
If anyone wants to ask the question, किसी को कुछ questions पूछना है तो please पूछिए.
प्रशांत ने एक बार बीच में हाथ उठाया था.
अब 1 घंटा सुन लिया सर सबका भी.
बाय मिस्टेक हो गया था सर, वो चैट पे क्लिक करने गया था.
नहीं, I request everyone, please feel ask the questions, because this is the golden opportunity. We can directly contact with Badki sir regarding this all exchange program. So किसी को भी कुछ questions पूछना है तो please आप अभी पूछिए, ताकि हर एक को उसका आंसर सुनने को मिलेगा.
Zai ma'am, there is one question from Dr. Neelam Gupta in the chat.
Yes. Yes. Difference between Jatharagni and Kayagni, she is asking. Vaidya Neelam Gupta to everyone. Differential diagnosis between Tikshnagni and Bhasmakagni. Difference between Jatharagni and Kayagni.
Okay, I will take the first question. The Jatragni and the Kayagni are the synonymous. There is no difference in the Jatragni and the Kayagni. So these are the different terminologies been used in context to different angles. Pachakagni, Jatragni, these are all the Kayagni Dorbalyat, Agni Dorbalyat. These are all the similar terminologies are the synonymous used in context to that. Then what is the difference between Tikshnagni and the Bhasmakagni?
Bhasmakagni, yes.
I think I took a lot of time to explain that, and I explained very nicely with that. But still, if somebody is wanted me to explain again, I will explain that one. So Tikshnagni is the condition which develops because of the provocation. But the Atyagni is the condition which develops because of the Kapakshenata, Maruta and the Agni Pradhanata. Maruta and Pitta are the predominant conditions. The first one is Tikshnagni is because of Pitta Prakopa. Pitta is Balavan. In case of Atyagni, Kapha is in the Kshinavastha. Pitta and Vata are more powerful. Number one. Number two, in case of the Tikshnagni, the person takes the food, a heavy amount of the food, but it will be getting digested quickly, but not very quickly. But in case of the Atyagni condition, the Ashitaram Pachati has been used. Muhur, excess intake of repeated excess intake of the food will be getting digested very, very quickly. As I mentioned earlier, if in case of Tikshnagni, it will take 2 hours to get it digested, but in case of Atyagni, it will take less than 1 hour to get it digested. And the next one next clinical difference is Tikshnagni sa evadi vardhamano Tikshnagni is becoming more advanced. That will be resulting into the development of the Atyagni. So this Atyagni, again he says that Muhur Prabhutam Apipitanam. ज्यादा मात्रा में खाया हुआ भोजन, बार बार ज्यादा मात्रा में खाया हुआ भोजन भी अति शीघ्र पच जाता है। आसुतरम अति शीघ्र पच जाता है। तो दैट इज पाकांते गल तालु ऊष्ट शोष दाह संतापन जनयंती। अब एग्जाम में ज्यादा नंबर पाना है तो बोलो, लिखो भैया गल गल शोष गल दाह गल संताप, वह लाइक दैट। तो तालु तालु सोहा तालु दाह तालु संताप, ऊष्ट शोष ऊष्ट दाह ऊष्ट संताप, करके 9 categories will be there. So that way we can write it out. Another way,
सर जी नमस्कार।
when the Karaka Samhita, it is very beautifully told. The labda bale dvehe rukshe, it makes the person become emaciated because it become more powerful because of the transmission of the both pitta as well as vata. And if the person does not get the food, it will start digesting the body tissues also. As a result of that, the person is going to and mrityu. So it is going to be, the person is going to die because it is not taken care of it. So in case of the repeatedly one should take the food. If not get the food, there will be a loss of the body tissues and the person is going to die out of it.
ब्याडगी सर नमस्कार।
नमस्कार मैडम, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार, बढ़िया रहा लेक्चर आपका, लेकिन एफबी पे लाइव नहीं है। मैडम नमस्कार।
अरे फेसबुक पे लाइव था मैडम, एक लाइव
एफबी नहीं दिख रहा है सर, एफबी पे लाइव नहीं है, मैं खोल के बैठी हुई हूँ।
एफबी पे लिंक क्या आप आया आज?
जी सर नमस्कार।
नहीं हो पाया सर।
नमस्कार निकिता जी।
जी जी
फेसबुक का लिंक दिया था,
पे ओपन नहीं हो रहा था सर।
हाँ, जो तरीका है वो शायद कर नहीं पाए हम लोग।
नमस्कार मैडम। नमस्कार
जी
सर।
नमस्कार। नमस्कार मैडम।
लाइव का
तक हो जाएगा।
मैडम ने फेसबुक लाइव का लिंक भेजी थी सभी को।
फेसबुक
जी जी जी
लिंक ही आया है, फेसबुक पे जूम का लिंक आया है, फेसबुक पे क्लिक करोगे तो इधर ही आओगे।
अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ वही वैसा ही हो रहा है, वही मैंने कहा।
वैसे अभी और 40 लोगों की जगह है हमारे पास खाली।
अच्छा अच्छा, नहीं सर आप फटाफट भरने लगेंगे
होपफुली। हमने
बिल्कुल।
हाँ, आज एकदम तेंदुलकर की इनिंग से शुरू किया है तो अच्छा ही रहेगा।
जी सही है सर। चलिए, अच्छा लग रहा है आप लोगों को सबको देख के।
नहीं बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
प्रेजेंटेशन सर।
थैंक यू।
प्रेजेंटेशन इज सो नाइस बैडगी सर।
थैंक यू मैडम,
वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव। यस
थैंक यू।
बढ़िया।
चलिए सब आप सब लोग की एक प्रेरणा दी, और पवन सर की, अतुल सर की और किनी मैडम की, सबकी इच्छा शक्ति जागृत हो गई, कार्यक्रम हो पाया। और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि, हम आशा करते हैं कि आप सब लोगों का भी हम लेक्चर सुनना चाहूंगा, तो आप लोगों का भी लेक्चर सुनने के मैं इच्छुक हूँ, ताकि हम भी आप लोगों से कुछ सीखें।
हर की स्टार्टिंग में एक अंकल ने ऐसे हाथ ऊपर करके ऐसे बैठे, वीडियो भी ऑफ नहीं किया। मुझे बैठे उधर से, मतलब मैंने क्या हुआ, मैंने कहा देखो कैसे बैठे हैं।
और सर जो स्टैंडर्डाइज क्वेश्चनर आपने अग्नि परीक्षा की दिखा है, दैट इज वेरी यूजफुल। ओके, सो आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी यूजफुल फॉर एवरीवन, फॉर आवर पीजी एंड यूजी स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो।
उनको मंडे को ही चाहिए।
वन मोर क्वेश्चन इज देयर सर।
मैम फॉलो अप ले रहे थे।
Okay.
और वो तो प्रणाली का कल फोन आया था ना कि देख लो मुझे मंडे को।
वन मोर क्वेश्चन इज देयर।
ओके, बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस है। हाँ,
Mandagni shows symptoms like Shwasa and Kasa. Is there any specific Samprapti for Kasa and Shwasa in Mandagni?
बहुत सारे लोगों के स्पीकर्स ऑन है, प्लीज खुद को म्यूट कर दीजिए प्लीज।
बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस है।
प्लीज सब जिनका माइक ऑन है प्लीज खुद को म्यूट कर दीजिए।
मैंने सबको म्यूट कर दिया एक बार। अब अपना अपने जिसको प्रश्न पूछना है वो अनम्यूट करके पूछिए या बात कीजिए। सबको म्यूट कर दिया। बैडगी सर आपका भी म्यूट हो गया है।
बैडगी सर एक क्वेश्चन है चैट में, डॉक्टर चेतना पूछ रही है, मंदाग्नि शो सिम्टम्स लाइक श्वासा एंड कासा, इज देयर एनी स्पेसिफिक संप्राप्ति फॉर कासा एंड श्वासा इन मंदाग्नि?
नो, हियर आप इसको इस तरह का समझ लीजिएगा, मंदाग्नि वाला कंडीशन में नॉट एज इन रोगा, श्वास रोगा और कासा रोगा, नो, इट इज ओनली द पेशेंट का प्रेजेंटेशन। हमेशा आपने भी देखा होगा कि हम लोग भी देखते हैं वार्ड में बोलते हैं कि गले में कुछ खराश टाइप का लग रहा, ऐसे ऐसे बीच बीच में इस तरह का लगती है, क्योंकि ये जो कफ वाला है, जो रसधातुगत मल रूपी कफ जो होती है वो ज्यादा मात्रा में डेवलप हो जाती है मंदाग्नि के कारण। वो लगता है कि वो ऊर्ध्व मार्ग के द्वारा निकल के जाती है, तो वो उस समय क्या करता है कि लोगों को गले में फंसा हुआ टाइप का लगता है कि खांसी बार बार, एक इरिटेशन कफ के कारण ऐसा लगता है कि ही वांटेड टू रिमूव दैट वन। ठीक सांस वाले में भी थोड़ी सी कफ की वात की गति को अवरोध होने के कारण, कफ के कारण, तो वो हल्का फुल्का जो सांस फूलने के जैसा लगता है, बट इट्स नॉट क्लासिकल दी श्वास रोगा प्रेजेंटेशन इन केस ऑफ द मंदाग्नि कंडीशन।
वेद प्रकाश सिंह कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं। वेद प्रकाश जी पूछिए अपना प्रश्न। वेद प्रकाश जी ने शायद गलती से हाथ उठा दिया है।
अच्छा अच्छा।
कोई नहीं, और कोई प्रश्न है? मुझे लगता है कि जाई मैडम।
एनी क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम पीजी स्टूडेंट सर? जो पीजीज है, जो यूजीस भी है यहाँ पे कनेक्टेड, उनके।
करुणा गायकवाड़ जी कुछ पूछना चाह रही है।
यस, बोल करुणा। हेलो हेलो करुणा।
सभी लोग क्वेश्चनियर मांग रहा है कि तो मैं क्वेश्चनियर भेज दूंगा सर।
यस।
तो आप सर कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो आप कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क कर दीजिए।
जाई मैडम।
थैंक यू वेरी मच बैदगी सर। आपने एकदम शॉर्ट पीरियड पे रिक्वेस्ट करके भी ये लेक्चर एक्सेप्ट किया और बहुत अच्छी तरह से, बहुत सूक्ष्म तरीके से, बहुत आउटस्टैंडिंग तरीके से और बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव तरीके से, जैसे आपके नाम को बोलते हैं ना, नाम को जो यथार्थ है, आपके कीर्ति को जैसे यथार्थ है, वैसे आपने लेक्चर दिया। Our all expectations got fulfilled. Thank you very much. Thank you very much from my side also. Thank you very much from रोग निदान अकेडमी। So आपका मार्गदर्शन रोग निदान अकेडमी को ऐसे ही मिलते रहेगा, ऐसे मैं आशा करती हूँ। And thanks to all listeners, in fact all teachers, PG students, UG students also they are joined with. So thank you very much. ये जो लेक्चर है वो आपको फेसबुक पे अपलोड करेंगे, आप अपने रेफरेंस के लिए बाद में भी देख सकते हैं। Next lecture will be on next Saturday, that is by Dr. Anand Kaur sir. He is the HOD of Government Baroda College, Rog Vigyan Vikriti Vigyan Department, and he is going to explain the practical application of Avarana by Rog Nidan aspect. Okay?
Avarana. Next topic will be an Avarana.
Yes, Avarana.
Very good, very interesting topic. Very good.
Yes, and he is going to explain on practical point of view. So be connected. The time will be same 1 to 3, and we will send you the link very soon. And if there is any query, let me know. You can ask right now also. If that is not, I would like to request Dr. Pavan Kumar sir, though he is there, to thanks again, Badgi sir.
So as of you have given the formal vote of thanks, but again I thank Badgi sir. Badgi sir, आपका अग्नि पे इतना शानदार लेक्चर हुआ, उसके बाद अब कंक्लूजन क्या हो सकता है उसका? कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए कुछ नहीं रखा आपने, जगह ही नहीं छोड़ी। बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया, प्रश्नों का भी बड़ा अच्छा उत्तर दिया। वो जो क्वेश्चनर है आपका वो बड़े डिमांड में है, निवेदन कि आप उसको मेल कर दीजिए तो हम सबको सर्कुलेट कर देंगे। रोग निदान परिषद के माध्यम से करते हैं।
ओके सर।
और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आपने अपना कीमती समय दिया। दीप्ति पैराशर मैडम, संदीप दहलीकर सर, गणेश कोल्ले जी, रूपश्री नाथ, बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े नाम दिख रहे हैं, निकिता अग्रवाल मैडम, प्रशांत देशमुख, विवेक अग्रवाल सर।
पवन सर, मुझे कुछ पूछना था।
है ना?
बोलिए सर। दहलीकर सर
जी बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ सर, वो मेरा।
बोलिए बोलिए
सर, मुझे पूछना था।
पूछिए ना।
हाँ सर, मुझे बैरगी सर से ये पूछना था कि जो अन्नव स्रोतस के अंतर्गत आने वाले जो आयुर्वेदिक दोष है, जो हमारे खास करके बोधक उसी के साथ साधक वायु होता है। में 20 चैप्टर में दूसरा श्लोक बताता है कि व्यान ही सारे कीटों को तो उसके रिलेटेड हम
वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है सर, आपकी वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है। वी आर नॉट एबल टू हियर योर क्वेश्चन।
वेद प्रकाश जी, आप चैट में लिख दीजिए ना अपना प्रश्न, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है।
हाँ, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा क्वेश्चन।
हेलो सर।
हाँ बोलिए
सर, सुनाई दे रहा है?
अब दे रहा है।
हाँ सर, मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि अष्टांग संग्रह सूत्र स्थान में जो दोषों का विवरण किया है अन्नव स्रोत के अंतर्गत, तो हर बार व्यान वायु को हम नजरअंदाज करते हैं। वाई इट इज सो? व्यान वायु ही रेफरेंस तो यही जा रहा है इसके रिगार्डिंग कि व्यान विभज्य चान्नस्य किट्टात सारम तेन क्रमशो धातुस्त और विपयेत, यानी जो सार किट्ट विभाजन में सबसे जरूरी काम जो करता है वो व्यान वायु करता है। साधक तो केवल उसको समान वायु केवल उसको लेके वहां तक उसको लेके आता है,
करता
और हाँ, द लघुवांतर एंड अन्न गेट डिवाइडेड इनटू स्मॉलेस्ट पार्टिकल अणु परमाणु विद द कर्मण ऑफ समान वायु, नो डाउट, बट व्यान हैविंग स्पेशलाइज्ड फंक्शन टू टर्न अन्न कण परमाणु इन सार भाग एवं किट्ट भाग, वेयर टू एब्सॉर्ब एंड वेयर टू एलिमिनेट। तो हमारा ये जो लिटरेचर है उस लिटरेचर में व्यान वायु को जो जरूरी वाला पार्ट बताया है अनंत दामोदर जी आठवले ने उनके बुक्स में, कि व्यान ही सार किट्ट विभाजन के बाद जो एब्सॉर्प्शन होता है उसमें व्यान ज्यादा करता है, अणु परमाणु समान करता है पर व्यान ही उसको एब्सॉर्ब करता है। तो इन दोषों से रिगार्डिंग मेरा प्रश्न ये जा रहा है कि इन दोषों से रिगार्डिंग जो भी हार्मोनल प्रॉब्लम है, जो भी डाइजेशनल प्रॉब्लम है, इन प्रॉब्लम को, इन पचन संस्था में आने वाले दोषों को हम इस तरह से एग्जामिन कर सकते हैं या उनका स्टडी कर सकते हैं क्या?
मैं आपकी प्रश्न समझ गया हूँ। आपने जो ये कह रहे थे कि मैंने जो आपको पहले जब एक्सप्लेन करते वक्त मैंने कहा था प्राण अपान समान स्त्रिभिः, प्राण अपान समानस्तु सर्वस्तु पवन स्त्रिभिः मायते पाल्यते। These are all the terminologies we have been used in context to the normal function of the Jatragni.
जी.
Again, if you go to the Susruta Samhita, where it has not been Kopitana mi doshanam sarire paridavata yatra sangha kavaigunyat vadik tatrupajayate. But if you go to the Charaka Samhita, vanena rasadhaturhi, very very important, vikshe puchita karmanaha. It has been clearly mentioned. There is no confusion in that. There has been very clearly yugapat sarvato ajastra deham vikshipete sada शिप्यमाणः कवैगुण्याद्रसा सज्जति यत्र तिष्ठति, मतलब करोति विकृतिम स्वांसा. That has been very clearly mentioned. So Vanavata is very important component which is responsible for the continuous and simultaneous circulation of the Rasadhatu is taking place because of the Vanavata, and it is very important component. So nobody is denying this. Everybody is accepting that. Even Charaka is also accepting. And these references are available in Charaka Vimana as Vimana Sthana also, as well as even in the Charaka Chikitsa 15th chapter.
And this brings to mind another very
हार्मोन
important.
को हम व्यान से कंपेयर कर सकते हैं क्या?
क्या सर?
हाइपोथायराइडिज्म में जो T3 T4 कंपोनेंट आता है उसकी कमी से एब्सॉर्प्शन, डाइजेशन.
थोड़ा सा वॉइस आपका क्लियर नहीं हो रही है, तो उसके लिए तो फिर आप पाचकांश को बात लेके हमको करना पड़ेगा. पाचकांश से कम हो गया तो फिर वो धातु पाचकांश से ज्यादा होने से शरीर हो जाती है, क्षीण हो जाता है, तो वो वाला कंसेप्ट फिर लेना पड़ेगा हम लोग को. पाचकांश को we will again discuss on some other day. Pachakamsi is also very interesting topic. We will discuss it some other day.
Okay sir.
क्वेश्चन आप चैट बॉक्स में डाल सकते हो if it is possible, then it is like, you know,
थोड़ा सा वॉइस क्लियर नहीं हो पा रही
yeah,
है।
that is the reason and I
सर
requested.
इंटरमीडिएट हम भी बाहर फेंके जा रहे हैं बीच बीच में।
अच्छा नहीं वो इस जूम के व्यान वायु
वो
का-
सिस्टम फेंका है, आप फेंक रहे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है।
जूम में व्यान आवाज स्ट्रांग हो रहा है इसलिए।
हाँ, वान प्रकोपित हो रहा है।
Google Meet, now we are
फेंकते
using
जा रहा है।
Google Meet.
पेट को फेंके जा रहा है।
प्रकोपित हो रहा है ना, 2 बज गया,
अभी
सबका अग्नि दीप हो
एक्सप्लोर
रही है
करते हैं
इसी कारण।
नेक्स्ट क्लास के पहले हम लोग जियो का आ गया है, जियो मीट बड़ा अच्छा सुनते हैं
मैं
पूरा।
वो मीट वाला गूगल मीट यूज कर रहा हूँ सर।
नहीं नहीं
Sir, Google Meet is better, na?
अच्छा,
Geo
जियो
Meet
वाला
is under pilot study.
जियो
अभी तक पायलट
जियो
नहीं
वाला
हुआ।
में
चलेगा ना, क्या
गूगल
दिक्कत
मीट भी अच्छा है पवन सर। गूगल मीट भी
Nowadays
अभी यूज
हम कर ही
करें
रहे
ना।
हैं यूज, हमारी क्लास तो
हाँ, दैट इज गुड।
हमारी
हम भी
class-
वही यूज करते
गूगल
हैं।
क्लासरूम और
पवन
गूगल
सर ये कह रहे हैं कि जियो मीट आ रहा है, जियो मीट महाराष्ट्र जिंदाबाद।
देखते हैं क्या होता है।
अच्छा
लेट्स सी।
ठीक है।
जियो मेक इन इंडिया के हिसाब से
हम समझ रहे हैं सर।
100% कॉपी है जूम की।
जियो वाला आ जाएगा तो अच्छा है, देखिए।
करते हैं चलो।
सब मीट ऐप जो डाटा है वो डाटा भी बहुत कम लेता है, बहुत कम लेता है।
Google-
हम बहुत सारा यूज करते हैं गूगल मीट।
नेक्स्ट टाइम हम लोग
ठीक है, गूगल मीट पे मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट
नेक्स्ट मेक इन इंडिया वाला
हाँ, सर,
पर
चलेगा।
जियो मीट पे करिए नेक्स्ट टाइम।
हाँ
मेक इन
नहीं
इंडिया
नहीं
जियो मीट।
नेक्स्ट टाइम हम गूगल मीट पे करते हैं।
गूगल मीट इज बेटर।
मीट या जियो मीट
टेस्ट हम जियो पे
That
भी
is
टेस्ट
better.
करेंगे, पर लेट्स
हम देखे थे इसमें।
Yeah.
गूगल तो महाजन लोगों ने,
हाँ।
संदीप दहलीकर सर ने, बड़े बड़े लोगों ने अपना मत दे दिया है तो हम उसकी बात मान लेते हैं ना। ठीक है ना मैडम जी? सही मैडम। गूगल मीट
मगर इसमें थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी।
क्लास जियो इस पे गूगल पे।
सर हम बहुत सारा यूज कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं
Yes.
है। और डाटा भी नहीं जाता है सर, कुछ
So,
भी डाटा नहीं जाता है।
हमने भी किया। ठीक है,
so I request all of you again, especially to PG students, ये जो लेक्चर सीरीज हम लोग ने शुरू की है रोग निदान परिषद के अंतर्गत, दैट इज स्पेशली फॉर आवर ऑल स्टूडेंट्स. सो बी कनेक्टेड. Every Saturday it is going to be held till year end. So please be connected. आपको अपने टीचर्स से, अपने डिपार्टमेंट के जो लोग हैं उनसे आप पूछ, if आपको इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिल रही है तो फिर आप उनसे पूछिए. Every, I think most of the HOD of colleges they are connected this group. And रोग निदान परिषद के इसके आगे भी बहुत सारे एक्टिविटीज हम लोग शुरू कर रहे हैं. हम लोग पीजी और पीएचडी के बच्चों के जो कुछ सिनॉप्सिस है उनके टाइटल्स कंपाइल करना, हर एक साल में बेस्ट टीचर एंड बेस्ट थीसिस अवार्ड करना, ये सब एक्टिविटीज वी आर लाइक गोइंग टू स्टार्ट वेरी सून. ऑल ऑफ यू बी कनेक्टेड विद अस. एंड इफ एनीवन, मैंने एक क्वेश्चन देखा इसके ऊपर चैट बॉक्स में, मुझे रोग निदान ज्वाइन करना है, व्हाट टू डू. आप अपने एचओडी से बात कीजिए, नहीं तो डायरेक्टली आप नंबर ले लीजिए मुझे मेरा, so you can get the procedure what is to join Rog Nidan Parishad. So once again thank you very much. Here I am, here I declare that this session is ending, and next today we will again be connected. So thank you very much everyone. Thank you Pawan sir, thank you Bharti sir, and thank you all Mahajan.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, madam.
Thanks a lot, Jai
Thank
madam,
you
for very nice anchoring.
Thank you.